Welcome to the new norm. Lots of sites that I'm keeping an eye on. I'm seeing huge shifts as always. And sometimes a lot of traffic goes down, but leads go up. Sometimes a lot of traffic goes down and leads go down, as you would expect. But if you know how I have built my sites for many years, I figured out more than 10 years ago that to build authority with a site, I just cover the supporting topics with a mixture of informational and commercial intent across 100, 200, 300 blogs. So I will, many years ago, exported all of the supporting questions on any industry or niche, how to choose a wedding dress, how to cut the grass, how to choose the best lawnmower, and we essentially researched the shit out of those topics and published unique guide-like pieces of content. I've been doing that for a very long time. What that did to my traffic graphs was through the roof. Traffic would come from all over Australia, all over the world, and not all of that traffic wide, especially if it's for a local garden in Melbourne, but the traffic is coming from the other side of the world. So useless traffic. From the client's perspective, useful traffic to me because it's my way of proving to Google that we have valuable content. On the website, those blogs, those pages are sending internal SEO juice to the main service pages. Those service pages are ranking on Google. It's called the reverse silo, and I've been doing it. I still do it for many years. What's happening now is a lot of simpler blogs on how do I choose a lawnmower, how do I cut grass. Google has simply plagiarized all of the publisher's content and given the snippets into an easy answer, whether it's Gemini or ChatGPT or another language model. So a lot of the more generic pieces of content is now, we're not getting the traffic anymore. We might be getting a credit from Google, but Google will only source 1 or 2 articles in the list. So what do? And this must be the 3rd or even 4th rewrite that I've done across all of my sites, all of my clients. We do the best that we can to write that content with unique flavor, with unique experience, but there's only so much that you can extract. What we've definitely done is we've compressed any articles that are mulling over the same topic. We've just compressed them all into one and made it to the best of our abilities using the client's tone. There's only so much that we can push to certain things without having genuinely unique data. But that's the new norm. Traffic goes down. In many cases, our inquiries have actually gone up because we've seen the respect from Google that they're quoting our sites. Now, what I also started doing, and heck, I've been doing this before ChatGPT came live, is I've been diversifying my traffic sources since the beginning of time. Even before ChatGPT went live, years before, I published a YouTube video on local website strategies that we implement, which is the omnipresent effect. It is we show up for places that matter, which is Facebook ads, Google ads, it might be TikTok, whatever the platforms, we try and diversify our traffic sources, which is currently working because years of that means that AI language models can see that we are a trustworthy source with social profiles that have aged now. And all of these social profiles are starting to be indexed across search engines and natural language models. So the new norm is, well, omnipresent. You have to do so much more to get respected across all of the platforms. Now, the beautiful thing is there are more platforms than ever before that are all fighting for attention and real estate. Some people use ChatGPT, which of course is leveraging Bing's index and Bing search engine, but heck, we know that all of them really copy Google's index. Gemini is, of course, Google. I think Claude and Perplexity use a mixture of both. Don't hold me to that. It's changing every single month. But we're still creating guide-like content. I just avoid topics that are quite generic and can easily be answered without any unique perspectives. So we try and get unique cases from the clients. I do what I can to load the client up with clips and videos they can record themselves. For example, it might be that wedding dress client, wedding dress cleaning. I will drill them the 50 interview questions, and so when they answer those questions, those videos sit at the top of the guide or blog, so it creates more engagement. So the transcript we will take from the video and we will make a guide-like blog with topics that the video covered. So the lead flow from Google is still high or higher than before. But what's also happening is we can see lead flow coming from ChatGPT, and I'm more firm about having a very basic Facebook ad running and a Google ad. Even for a local business that normally wouldn't run Facebook ads, I just run either a awareness ad or just a very basic conversion leads ad that takes the user to the landing page. And if someone is interested, they'll go through the friction process of our landing page and fill out the form, and the intent of that lead is as good as a Google ad. It's just more intrusive marketing, and it's very rare that someone needs an electrician and they see an ad on Facebook, oh yeah, I should probably give them a call. Very rarely. But I'm seeing Meta and Google share a lot of data, so it wouldn't surprise me if Facebook can see what people are Googling via the browser, via all sorts of Chrome extensions. It's all, the AI is very good now, and who knows who has access to it these days. So the new norm is traffic graphs on Ahrefs and SEMrushers are not looking pretty, aside from the major change in Google Num 100, which is basically they've stopped. Google have basically shut the door on results after page 1, which makes it hard for rank trackers and traffic forecast tools to show legitimate traffic. So things that looks like they're plummeting, but that's just a lack of data. But they're also genuinely plummeting in the Google Search Console and Google Analytics because AI has just regurgitated my content, my published articles, and now it's just spitting out those answers at the top, and we hope that it credits us. So if I was to start a business right now in the local space, whether it be a cosmetic clinic, a electrician, a plumber, the process would be as it's always been, but I would focus a lot more on syndicating content across social media platforms, because the maturity of those platforms acts as a trust signal. I always call it a social fortress. It's a ring of trust of fundamental accounts. So still set up that Threads, LinkedIn, Pinterest. Why would you set up Pinterest for an electrician? We'll just do it. Have them all linked to your website. This is all stuff that the search engines and AI language models. I'd create a Reddit account and contribute as your brand name or your name, so people can, if they like what you write about, they might Google you. You want to diversify traffic sources. That shows the giants that you are important. When you make one landscape video in 4K, you can chop that up into vertical portrait videos that can be syndicated across social media platforms. There's just a lot more work that's required to penetrate. That's the new cost of entry to market. But there's a lot more places to show up now, which is great for the small business.